Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum.
That's not the theme song.
Backwards
What did you
again,
do with it?
killing it, riddling it. It's Gcast, and I'm feeling it.
There we go. There's the hip-hop outburst from Bryce. I offered some dramatic music. Chris questioned the whole thing, and rightly so. This is the GCast episode, 5. I'm Martin. I'm your host, joined by Brycey. Bryce, you good?
Yeah, man.
Good stuff. Chris, you all right?
I'm alright.
We are ready. We are ready to rock. You know the score. You give us questions. We answer them in a semi-serious way. Someone did submit a question, and it was so boring, I've deleted your email, but I've forgotten your name. I would like to tell you to your face, but your question was so boring, I deleted your email. It was about hoodies. If that was
Whoa,
you.
that sounds like it could be.
It was boring. I don't know. I can't even remember it. Sorry, that's probably rude, but anyway, we're off.
I will come on know what the question was now.
It's about hoodies.
I thought, how is there a question about hoodies?
There was a question about hoodies. It was like the subject said Gcast, and I thought, oh, right, here we go, good question. Something about hoodies, and I was like, oh, get off.
But it must be really. It must be like, what's your favourite hoodie or?
No. It was about the acquisition of hoodies. I think this guy wanted a hoodie but not one of ours.
Oh,
I think I'll find out. I'll remember. I'll go into the deleted items and bring it back from the past.
maybe you wanted a Paul Kent hoodie.
Well, they are sold out. We only made one, and it was brown. So we are going to crack right on as I'm being handed. Oh, here it is. Yes, here it is. Thank you very much. Patrick Maslankowski. Paddy. Probably should do that.
Well, there you go. You just had a bleep there because Martin was stupid enough to read out the person's email. So there we go. There's the first bleep that wasn't even a swear.
Sorry. Right. Will you sell pro team hoodies, jerseys? For example, the new Nade Shot hoodie or Pomage hoodies?
Well, that's a question for marketing.
It is. Unfortunately, they're out at the moment. Thanks, Paddy.
We can. Why have you done it again?
I did it on purpose. Sorry, Paddy, mystery email at mysteryemail.com. I'll find out for you. We don't know yet, but we will be selling loads of nice stuff if you want to buy some stuff.
Martin hoodies,
Paul hoodies, Brycey hoodies, Chris hoodies.
Is it like
Katie
a hoodie
hoodies,
with the zip that goes
Jeanette
all the
hoodies.
way to the top, and then it's just like a bald head at the top?
It's
so
exactly what
it
it is. That's exactly what it is, with holes. Very popular with bank robbers. My hoodies. Great disguises. Right, thanks. I didn't really mean your email was boring, Patrick. I was just teasing, just tickling you.
That's right. We're going to have to bleep that out anyway.
Tickling you under the chin. All right, yeah, we've bleeped out his email address. Unless I say it again. Which I might do. Which I might just say.
I feel bad for the editor of this.
I know, but Katie loves it. Right, okay, let's move forward with the questions. Chris is back in the chair. Chris, it's good to have you back. We missed you last week.
I know.
We had some fun with Warren, though. Warren thought a woodchuck was a log.
Oh, that was fantastic.
It was great.
Really?
Yeah. One of the questions was how much wood.
How much wood would the woodchuck chuck if woodchuck could chuck wood?
Yeah, perfect. And we asked Warren what he thought a woodchuck was. He thought a woodchuck was some wood, so we asked him whether he thought a woodchuck, being wood, could throw wood, and his answer simply was, yeah. But welcome back. We have our receiver of the questions and our asker of the questions back in his rightful chair. Hit us with it.
This is an interesting one because it kind of ties into what I did last week.
Ooh.
Where would your dream holiday be?
Ooh.
Mine in my room playing games all
That's
week,
it.
as I did last week.
Yeah, and you loved every second of
I
it?
loved it. I didn't eat lunch. I just sat there gaming all week.
Whoa, you didn't eat lunch?
No.
You love lunch.
I know, but
Lunch is like...
I love gaming as well.
You do. So, let's go off on a tangent. You had to choose between gaming and food. What would you choose?
Am I going to die if I don't get food?
That's the nature of starvation.
Well, then I'm going to have to get food.
You are. Unlucky gaming.
Unless I can eat my games.
Edible games.
All right, what
Write
about...
that idea down. That's an idea for a
Let's put
major
it on the
developer.
market.
Edible games,
Put
yeah.
it on the market.
That's a terrible idea. What's a really good idea? Collector's edition with snacks and drinks for the night. Think about it. They put all this stuff in. You get like a badge and cards and little books. You know, most of that stuff goes in the bin.
Yeah.
But what if, when you got your collector's edition, you got some cool stuff anyway, because people like cool stuff.
Yeah.
But in there was like 4 or 5 cans of drinks, some crisps, some snacks, and you just took it home, and that was it. Like the
pizza voucher.
The XX game collector's edition
Pizza voucher.
survival pack.
In association with Sainsbury's.
Yeah. Maybe.
Fair. If you do want to get involved, do email us at
Gcast.
supermarketsgetinvolved@gfinity.net.
Yeah.
Real email address again once then. So your ideal holiday, Chris, is to stay at home in your bedroom playing games. Good.
I'm
Bryce?
asking you first.
Oh, you want to ask me? My ideal... The best holiday I ever had was I went to Australia. I loved Australia. It's the best.
I can't agree with Australia. I'm not saying you didn't have a good holiday there, but basically everything there wants to kill you. I feel like
Well,
this place-
exactly. But just and it goes
you
as
on your
far.
toes.
It goes as far as plants. There are certain plants you can't touch because they'll kill you.
Well,
That said,
I mean that's just ridiculous. Why would you? Well, obviously when it was first colonised or whatever, why did someone not go? Why don't we just reduce this entire place to barren rock and start again?
a lot of it is barren rock.
Well,
There's
then just do
effort.
the rest of it. Just
It's gonna take
burn.
effort.
Just Australia. Just evacuate everybody. Just get out of there. Just burn everything to the floor and start again.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Because it's my holiday, so I'd like to go to somewhere I like. So thanks for ruining that. But I do have one condition. My ideal dream holiday would be to go back to Australia just as long as Las Vegas was there. If you could put Las Vegas in Australia, specifically somewhere nice on the coast.
Australia.
Australia, exactly.
Nah,
Yeah.
it'd be like a scorpion in the chips and stuff. It'd be crazy.
Exactly. So it's still sort of unpredictable. You never know
You're
where you're
doing,
going to get.
roulette, the ball spins, and then all of a sudden there's a scorpion egg, and there's scorpions everywhere.
I can go clubbing till 7 and then nearly get stung by a jellyfish just walking
Yeah.
home. I love it. What about you?
I generally have no idea, if I'm honest. Like, I don't think I have an ideal holiday. I generally don't. I don't know what to
Something with
say.
barbecue sauce and friction welding.
Oh, that usual joke again. Let's just pedal that out for the 15th time.
Mate, it's got legs yet. What's the best holiday you've ever been on?
It might have been one of the last ones I went on with a lot of friends of mine, and just because it was just a lot of fun getting drunk a lot.
Okay. Did you misbehave?
Yeah. Well, I have
Always
various
misbehave.
drunken tendencies where I go into one of several moods.
Tell us about the non-violent moods.
All right. So the last time I went, I don't usually throw up when I'm drinking. I can usually stop myself. I usually want to.
Mhm.
I can usually get to that point where I get enough water down me, get to sleep. I don't throw
Mhm.
up. Unfortunately, I was on medication this time. So first we'll get back to like this little villa. We're in a little villa because we went out
Where are you? Where in the world are
to
you?
Spain.
Which part? Do you remember?
No.
No. Okay, let's just go with one.
All I know is that we went there because we were meeting a guy out there who's a long-term friend of ours, but he moved out to Spain. His
Right.
parents are there, all that sort of stuff.
Sounds
So
cool.
his parents were about 10 minutes away or whatever. So we're like in a little villa. First night, I'm on this medication. And I know I'm not supposed to drink on the medication, but anyway. So we get a taxi, go to this strip that's in like another town down the road. We drink probably what's paint stripper. God knows what's
Mhm.
in these bottles.
Yeah.
We get back, walk through the little security gate.
Security gate.
Well, it's like a barrier across the road. It was like
Oh, right,
It's like a little holiday thing.
I see what you mean. Right.
Um,
It wasn't like a metal detector.
So yeah, I get maybe 12 paces before I'm vomiting into the side into a bush in the
Nice.
middle of the road.
What colour was it?
What, the vomit?
Yeah.
I don't really remember because the next thing I did was think, oh, the grass that I'm kind of leaning on is very soft.
Ah.
So I just went and going to sleep. There we go.
On the grass.
On the grass. Thinking, oh, you know, this is great. I'm gonna stay here. My friend just went back to the villa. It was only, you could probably see the villa down the road from where I was. And then I heard people going, go get him now. So they go, someone kicked me to get me out. It was like, you gotta get up now. I'm like, why? Look, you gotta get up. So I kind of pushed myself up a bit. Look back, and there's like some military boots on the. That's all I could see.
You can see military boots.
Yeah, military stuff, but it was clearly security.
Right.
So I didn't even look any further than that. I saw boots, stood up, walked off, happy as you like.
Yeah.
Broke the door off its hinges when I got into the apartment.
Strong.
Yeah, I kind of was just a bit drunk. And fell asleep. And then I was like, that's all right. It was just first night.
First
So
night
the
excitement.
next night, I get further than the security gate.
Still on the grass? Are you back on the grass?
No, I get further than the grass. I get to the villa. Now,
Ooh.
I've smashed into the door again. Didn't break it.
Good. Expensive.
Yeah, and then I'm like, right, gotta get to bed. That mode, you're like, gotta get to bed. Get into the bedroom, and I don't. There's a gap, and I don't usually have gaps. But the next thing I notice is that I'm vomiting over my cousin.
Nice. Still talking to him?
Yeah, well, I'd say vomiting over because he must have come in, because there was like one bed, single bed, and then a gap in the middle, and then another single bed.
Uh-huh.
He must have come in to clean up me vomiting on the floor,
Good.
because I vomit like really violently to the point where I've had blood blisters or whatever. So
Graphic.
yeah, I'm vomiting everywhere, and I'm saying sorry, mate, and then vomited over him again while he's got dustpan and brush trying to clean it up.
A dustpan and brush. They're the tools of choice. Your cousin So
it's
because
5:30 in the morning at this point.
Doesn't matter. The way you're describing this to me, it sounds. And Chris, correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like there's quite a lot of vomit, right, at this stage. And so your cousin, and let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's tired. He might be a little bit drunk. His tools of choice for cleaning this up are a dustpan and brush.
Yeah.
All right, carry on.
So at this point, I said, sorry, mate. And then the next thing I know is I've kind of woken up in the morning. I don't remember anything. I must have said, apparently I just said, sorry, mate. Stop vomiting for a second and just and lay down. I went to sleep.
A nice peaceful end to...
Yeah. So I woke up in the morning going, oh, no. Oh, God. So I stood up and it was clean. Everything was okay. I mean, it smelled a little bit. The other bed was missing. Someone took that out of the room and went to sleep somewhere else.
All this had occurred while you were asleep?
Yeah.
It was a cleaner, wasn't it?
No, I don't think so. Because at the end of it, we didn't get a deposit back because, in their words, there were 2,000 cigarette butts around the place.
What?
Well, it was 6 guys and 5 of them smoked. The other 5, it was they smoked a lot. Like, they chain smoked for a week.
I think they did. All right, fair enough. So Spain, vomiting, and lots of smoking.
It was just a lot of fun.
That was genuinely the most horrifying story I've ever heard.
It was, yeah. It was quite graphic.
I left out the violence parts.
It would be interesting to know if that story's actually made anyone sick.
Nah, it's fine.
It'd be like that scene in the Goonies
I'm
with Chunk.
certainly not hungry anymore.
I know. Well, you can play more games.
Yeah, that's true.
Good. Right, thanks, Bryce. Every
Can't
week
believe
we
we
get
wasted
something.
about 15 minutes on that.
That was episode 5. We'll see. No, we won't. We'll carry on. So, Chris, what's the next question? Who was that question from, by the way? Does it say?
No.
All right. Okay. Thanks for that question.
Does it? Ramen Chana.
Thank you, Raman. Appreciate that, mate. Thanks for getting involved. What's the next question?
He's also got another question.
Has he, the cheeky
He
monkey?
put quite a few here, but we have narrowed it down to 2. Favorite activity outside of esports, apart from friction welding?
Haven't they actually put friction welding? I like this person.
I knew this would get some traction.
I don't think he's trying to embrace it. He's making fun of you.
You keep knocking at the door, and I'll tell you what, someone will eventually answer it. We should get that guy to Chicken Club.
This is the
provided
real,
he lives in Surrey.
This is the real question: is has he actually gone and looked up friction welding?
I'm not getting involved in another protracted conversation about.
We've already
bloody
had
friction
one
welding.
story.
What was the question? Our favourite
activity out of esports?
outside of esports.
Regular sports.
Kind of would be, yeah. I love watching sport. I like watching all sorts of sport. Get cracking on with that.
Nah,
I like going out. I won't lie. I like going out and having a good time.
Insulting people.
Where?
That is a lot of fun.
Annoying people.
Insulting, annoying people, or insulting people and
Hurting
annoying
people as well.
hurting people. So she's just going to insult people, annoy some people, and then hurt
That's your
them.
favourite stuff to do outside of esports.
Well, what else is there?
Believe it or not, Chris, a whole world.
Well,
There's a whole world.
I usually default like, there's no card tournaments on today. I'm going to go punch someone in the face.
Then nick their wallet.
Yeah.
And
then insult
call
their mother.
Then call them fat.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, that's too far.
So if you are out there in the general public and you do see Chris Trout wandering the streets with nothing to do, run in the other direction because you are going to be irritated, annoyed, and then attacked. And he'll kick you when you're down.
I'll scratch as well.
That's what people
I'll
don't
bite and
notice.
scratch.
At the end of the events we've done, like at the end of G3, I mean, 4 of us just had to spear him quickly into his cage again before he reacted.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
That's like a tiger. Attack you.
He stood up from his production desk, and just a wild look appeared in his eyes.
I think that was the Red Bull.
It's covering time.
Red Bull turns Chris into a bit of a beast. Brycey, what do you love doing when you're not involved in esports?
Sleeping.
You love to sleep.
Yeah, which I don't get a lot of, so I kind of the only thing I get to do. Reading. There we go. That's actually something I read.
Okay, what are you reading at the moment, or the last thing you read?
I'm currently rereading the Eisenhorn trilogy.
Okay. Any good? Do you recommend it?
Yes, I do recommend it. There will be very few people that will watch this. Will know what I'm on about. But if you do watch that, it is a fantastic trilogy. Before that, I read a book called Trailblazers, which is about the histories and habits of test fighter pilots.
Okay, because fighter pilots is and obviously jets is something that really interests you.
Yes.
Good stuff. If you do have a book that you'd like Brycey to read, please email him on Brycey, please read this book at gfinity.net, and he'll do a quick review for you in every GCast.
I'm kind of glad that was the last one I read.
Chris, what was the last book you ever read? How to Insult, Attack and
No.
Verbally Abuse the General Public by
It
Alan
was-
Bryce.
It was a.
How often do
the
you
last-
read?
The last proper book I read was like a James Patterson one. I like James.
He's
Patterson.
good actually. I like James
He does
Patterson.
the Alex Cross series.
He
I
does,
like,
yeah.
I've read like all of them.
How
Have you?
often do you read?
Not very often.
What's,
I used
what's
to read
Not, what's not very often,
I
though?
used-
Like
like
what,
never.
one? Like
unless
never.
It's, unless it's like unless it's like a manual or a review of some game.
What was the last book you read, Chris? It was a manual. I love it. Good, but do you know it all counts.
No, I,
See,
I,
don't
u-
you-
I used to read quite a bit, but I don't do it so much
Yeah.
anymore.
I can't not read.
What's the worst book you've ever read?
Oh, I think it's a kind of like a well-known series of something. It was like I think it was a Tom Clancy book, and I just didn't like it.
Lord of the Rings.
No, I
Lord of
want
the
to read
Rings.
that. I've never got round to
I
actually
hate
reading Lord of the Rings.
Do you know what? But the last book, well, not the last, but the worst book I ever read was that Steve Jobs biography.
I read.
I got about 2/3 of the way through it, and I thought, this guy is a complete prat.
No, that you know what?
And I put it down.
I know the worst book I've ever read now. It's Danny Dyer's autobiography.
Why on earth would you read that? That's how many pages is that? If that's more than 5 pages, I'd be surprised.
Well, I was like, okay, right. So
How does it start? I bet it starts like this. Bosh. That's the
No.
first word.
So what I found out is I'm thinking, all right, maybe he had a bit of a naughty background or something. You know, he plays a bit of a dodgy geezer. Then maybe he's had a bit of a colourful life, right?
All right.
No,
Okay. Yeah, fair
no.
enough. Fair
Right,
enough.
so I'm like, oh, this could be quite interesting, right?
What was it? Did he go to RADA?
No. So he went to the Royal College of Drama and Theatre, and that was his autobiography. I'm sitting there, so I get a
What?
page in going, right.
just
He's
so-
going to
sorry,
tell me
Bryce,
about
Bryce,
growing up
one-
on a
Bryce,
council
Bryce.
estate.
Bryce, 1 second. He didn't go to RADA. Where did he go?
Royal, whatever.
Right. Okay. Pennies dropped.
What he
So
just
was it
said.
bad? Was it bad? Was it really bad?
I don't know. I don't use acronyms. I don't know what it is.
my speaking. This will tie into the holidays thing, right? And going back to subject to like lads' holidays and stuff. Mate of mine, we we went to Falaraki in on the Isle of Rhodes in Greece, which is a dump, a complete cesspit of a place. Anyway, he wanted to look intellectual while he was laying by the pool to attract some female attention. So he had basically the story of Muhammad Ali's life. So he's lying there reading in inverted commas reading. So I said to him, "You enjoying your book, mate?" He went, "Yeah, yeah." He goes, "Are there any girls looking at me?" I said, "If they would, they'd be disappointed." And he said, "Why is that?" I said, "You're holding that book upside down." What?
Really?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Brought one book with us to Vegas about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was Cheryl Cole's autobiography, and I made him leave it on the plane. No, it wasn't Girls Aloud.
I'm embarrassed to say that I've.
That probably would have attracted more attention.
It probably would have actually. Girls would want to borrow it, wouldn't they?
Yeah, Danny Dyer's autobiography made me want to kill myself. I stopped maybe a chapter in and was like, I've bought a book on a face premise here. I should get a refund off him personally in blood.
How much did you pay for it?
I don't even remember.
Can you just like ballpark?
I'll tell you what,
roughly?
whatever I paid, it was 100 times worth more than I should have
Maybe
paid.
you should ask Mr. Dyer to give you.
Well, now
your
I know
money
he's
back.
not got a dodgy background. I could probably take him in a fight.
Right, Danny Dyer, if you are listening to that, you're next up to fight Bryce. He does have a fight already booked with an aggressive penguin. That was booked in last week.
Send an email to Gfinity Fights at Gfinity.
Yeah, slap Bryce at gfinity.net. Real email address. Okay, good. Right, I got lost there, but let's move on.
We've got question number 3 from Ben Cordell at Ben Meets World.
Oh, I know him.
Right, we'll beep that email address out.
That was a Twitter app.
All right, sorry. Keep that in. Everyone, follow Ben. Sorry, Ben.
I think you've met Ben.
Have I? Nice to see you
If you,
again, Ben.
if you haven't, I have to introduce you. Ben's awesome.
Oh, right, cool. We know Ben.
He asked for our thoughts on Illinois College offering scholarships to League of Legends players.
So I've read this article. I
Good
don't know if you've
question.
seen it.
I've heard about it. I haven't read it. I won't lie.
So-
I was too busy reading Danny Dyer's
So there's.
autobiography.
Let me know how you get on with that. It probably just talks about his feelings or something for the rest of it. Anyway, so they're doing scholarships for League of Legends. It's kind of what it says in the tin. There's $500,000 for 30 scholarships. They're not full scholarships. They're half scholarships.
Okay.
Um,
So part funded.
Yes. And there's been a lot of discussion about it. So he actually forwarded me an article talking about there was a kind of I think it's NPR. I want to say it's NPR. We're talking about it on their show. And he just, I think it was the main host wasn't taking it very seriously, which admittedly I can understand because I see it every time, And to the point where it's no longer kind of shocking me now. I just kind of get over it with grim resignation. But it sparks an interesting kind of line of thought.
So presumably this is that obviously the way the part scholarship works is that then the university have a League of Legends team.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've seen tournaments on Twitch where there's actual universities going out. I think last weekend, the weekend before that, there was an actual university tournament going on. So it's.
I think it's interesting. I think it's probably positive.
I think it is positive. What's bugging me the most at the moment is in the last maybe 6 months, it's starting to grow in a lot of weight. There's a lot of mainstream media interest, and it actually all falls down the same path. It's very easy if you're a journalist at the moment to go, oh, gaming, look at this. Here are the numbers. Millions and thousands or hundreds of thousands of people watch, and these people make a living. How quirky is that? And it seems to be every single article. I was actually interviewed recently, and it's probably the worst interview I've ever done because I genuinely felt like I was being attacked about violence in video games.
All right.
And I kept kind of deflecting the question. I said one or two things wrong in it as well. I talked about the disassociation between violence and video games.
Right.
People playing it didn't really feel like it was an act of killing, which admittedly could be spun against me saying that we kind of desensitized to it and stuff. But that's not really the case. I think
anyone that thinks that violence in video games makes people kill people is mad.
It's crazy. If
someone's going to kill someone, they're quite they're
mentally
already gone. They're off the
unstable.
reservation. They're already baked. It's going to happen. They're a time bomb. It ain't the game. And let's get back to the scholarship though. Do you think it's a positive thing that something like an educational institution says, you know what, we can see there's some value in this. Let's put our money where our mouth is. Let's give these guys part scholarships. So they're still sort of promoting the educational aspect, and they don't want people to kind of move away from education, but they can see that actually it's a way of engaging people and attracting people to universities in America. Where was it, Illinois?
I think you've hit the nail on the head there with what you said. First of all, there's value in it. So if you're going to give a scholarship to somebody who's very good at putting a ball in a hoop, or running down the field and catching a ball, or a egg-shaped thing, or whatever that is,
It's probably an egg, is it?
Yeah.
Carry on. Sorry.
Then there's no reason if there's the same value in it for esports. There's no. You can't say scholarship for football is fine, but it's not fine for League of Legends because it's new and they're not athletic. Well, technically that person's getting a scholarship. Either they're going to go pro, which is a very small minority of players, or they're there to get an education for something awesome they do.
Yeah, but a scholarship isn't just about athleticism, is it? People get maths scholarships, people get chess scholarships, they get all sorts of scholarships. It's just a way of making sure that universities attract top talent in different areas. It's cool. I think it's interesting. What I'd love to know is if they've got them all in the same dorm and they've set them up with equipment and what the plan is. I'd love to know if they've set out a plan. Because normally, like if you use basketball as an example, and they go and attract a top high school basketball player, they'll have a plan to integrate him into all the different teams.
Well,
and stuff.
I need to go back and reread the article because I literally only got forwarded a little before this. So I need and there was about 4 that spurned off it. So I went and read them all and listened to a bit of the radio station. Like it's funny because the people it's still this it's quirky and new. And I keep seeing it. It's always the older section of kind of journalists and stuff that talk about, look how amazing this is, and here's the numbers, and will this be on ESPN in 2 years? Honestly, probably not. Like, people keep saying, we need it on mainstream broadcasting, when realistically the biggest strength of any e-sport is the fact that it's not on that, and it's free, and it's open to the entire world. And realistically, like, even when they said it's not a sport a little while ago, generally don't care. I don't care if you don't think it's a sport. Then don't watch it. I'll call it whatever I want. If I wanted to call it a pantomime of rainbow-coloured hippopotamuses, then that's what I'd call it. It would not devalue it in any single way just because you don't think it's called that.
Fair enough. Okay, good stuff. Slight tangent, and by slight I mean massive, but it's all value. It's all value.
Sorry, I had an interview recently. It wound me up.
I know it's wound you up, and it's good to get it off your chest. You have to bear with Bryce. He's not drinking Pepsi Max today. He's drinking orange squash, and it's a big change. It's a big change. Yes, I think Chris. Sorry, we didn't ask you, mate. What do you think is a good idea?
Yes.
Good stuff. Look at that. Be bright, be brief, be gone.
Well, I went and asked for some content we were doing. I asked people questions to ask us for a show that we were doing.
Yeah.
And people were struggling for questions to ask, and I said to them, why don't you ask the question about scholarships for people? And I got laughed at, and I was just like, why are you laughing? It's something that's quite evidently going to happen. You know, I mean, if you've got a skill in something, people are going to want to get everything from it. It seems like something that, you know, you've got all these other sports and things that get scholarships. Why wouldn't you get one for gaming?
Do we know if they're the only college to do that?
I think they're the only one I've seen, at the very least.
Well, it'll be interesting now to see if that spawns other.
It's always that someone has to take that first step.
It's good. In fact, if you are from the University of Illinois, I think you should be congratulated for taking a brave step, and it's good. I think it's good for esports. So well done, you. You are cool. What's the next question, Chris?
That
is as R&B as I get, by the way.
As a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Oh God, I still am a child. I haven't decided.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm grown up at all.
I wanted to be I wanted to be a footballer. We've covered that. I wanted to be when I was in school, I actually wanted to be a PE teacher. That's what if I actually would have concentrated in school, and I'm not advocating concentration. It's up to you. You make your own choices. Because I'm pretty happy with where I've ended up. I would have been a PE teacher, I think, because I love sport. And I quite like, you know, the whole education aspect. I like getting involved.
Horribly see you as a PE teacher.
I'll
You
be
even
the
look
best
like
PE teacher.
you even look like one of my old PE teachers.
And my legs. I've got quite good legs, and they look good. You know, like if you're going to be prerequisite of being a good PE teacher is you've got to have decent legs.
God.
And I've got my calves. Honestly, it's awesome. It's like my knees have swallowed grapefruits. It's beautiful. They're lovely. They are. They're a bit hairy now. I'd say hairy now, like I used to have them shaved. They've always been hairy. In fact, they're less hairy. I don't know why that is. Anyway, enough about my legs. Brycey, what did you want to be when you were a child?
All right, so I actually have an early memory of like doing a drawing of what I wanted to be in like kindergarten.
Okay.
And I wanted to be a policeman.
A policeman?
Yeah.
Did you?
And then for a while, growing up, I kind of wanted to be a policeman. I almost applied at one point. And then I almost applied for the army. I actually went to the recruiting office one day and kind of talked through a bit. But yeah, I was generally going to either join the army or the police. Other than that, nothing really else came to mind. I kind of like just doing stuff. Like I like working with my hands. Admittedly, I don't do that much anymore.
Yeah, I suppose because you are quite busy.
Which I mean, I occasionally still help my dad out.
Do you miss working with your hands?
I miss the part of it where you create stuff and you kind of get the hard days, you know, sort of manual labour. That's kind of feels good, but there's the days when you're like, I'm tired,
so
it's cold and wet.
Working with your hands made you feel good?
Yeah, I can do a lot of things with my hands that makes me feel good. Gaming, mostly.
Good, nice. I was just trying to take it to the gutter. Chris, so you wanted to be a policeman, PC Bryce, Detective Inspector Bryce. Chris, what did you want to be when you were a kid?
I wanted to be a Power Ranger.
Did you? I love it. That's the best answer. Why? Did you just love Power Rangers?
Power Rangers were awesome.
My team morph into.
What
is the theme song for that?
I had the big robot thing. They all morph into, and I lost that like 3 times. I had to get them.
I would have quite liked to be a Ghostbuster.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, they were quite cool. Surely Ghostbusters was before your time.
No, I used to have like the
I think it was just around.
I used to have the big playset and the
time.
proton pack and everything.
Did you?
Yeah.
I went to a fancy dress party once, and a guy had built the proton pack. He'd spent like 1,800 quid on it, and it looked incredible. It looked real. It looked totally real. And he said he had offers to from people to buy it, and he was like, nah, I'm not selling this. My life's work. I said, how much do you love Ghostbusters? And he went, actually, the only thing I love more than Ghostbusters is Lego. What must this guy's house be like? If you're out there, do send us photos to weird Lego Ghostbuster man at Gfinity. He's not weird. It was nice. He bought me a drink, actually. I didn't buy him one back. That makes me cheap. Weird. So a Power Ranger. I'd love to see you in a Power Ranger costume.
That is easily a possibility.
Christmas party outfit.
Next, do you know what we should do, right? Do you know what we should do? What we'll do is we'll do an episode of the GCast dressed. So you got to come as a policeman. I'll come as a PE teacher, and I want to see you in a Power Ranger outfit.
Done.
Wicked. That has excited me.
I might just come as a fighter pilot. That'd be easier.
But you can't. You got to come as a policeman.
I'll come as
We've already got the warplanes hat and goggles somewhere.
The warplane goggles are above my.
Steve's got it. Steve's brain. Oh, it's not there anymore.
Yeah. No, it's here somewhere. All right. Good. What we got next? Have we got another one?
Yeah. This is the last question.
Ooh.
No.
If you could witness an event, past, present, or future, what would it be?
Martin's death.
Wow. That got
Oh,
really serious and dark.
To be fair, though, I mean, my funeral will be an absolute rave. So, you know, if you're around when I pop off,
How
do
do you-
come along.
How do you know that? Maybe you'll die.
Because
alone.
I'm going to set it up.
Maybe you'll just be lonely.
No,
Maybe secretly everyone hates you. Have you ever
leave
thought
off.
about that?
No. Why would I? It's not true.
Might be true.
There are people that hate me, I'm sure.
I'm not one of them.
Thanks, mate.
He's lying.
He's a Power Ranger, and he's got my
Power
back.
Rangers can't lie.
All right. Serious answers then.
Serious answers.
Martin, what do you want to see? Past, present, or future?
Past, present, or future? Maybe England winning the World Cup, because I ain't going to see that again.
What, would you go back in time, or would you go forward in time?
I'd go back in time. There's no guarantee it's going to happen in the future, is there? I could just keep going forward in time, and I'll be in the year 65 million and something, and we'd still be drawing 0-0 with Macedonia. Yeah, I'll go back 1966. I love that because I could go to Wembley, watch the World Cup final, then head over to, I don't know, Carnaby Street, where it was all swinging and going off in the 60s, and just have a good afternoon with some of the other revelers in a nice way. What about you, Bryce? Would you go back to the when they filmed Top Gun and you would be an extra on the film?
I'd definitely be in Top Gun.
Would you be? You'd probably want to be in that volleyball scene there when you were there topless.
No, not really.
Okay, just asking.
I'd have to go forward. I think I'll just find out what's going on in 10 years. I think.
In 10 years. Hold on, right? You got the ability to time travel. You just want to pop forward 10 years. Wouldn't you just go forward 100 years?
No, because then nothing would be relevant. Like, if you pop forward 100 years without context, you'd be like, oh, wow, the Earth is destroyed. Well, great. Anything could have happened there. If you go too far forward,
Okay.
you won't have any idea what's actually happened to get to that point.
So you're just treading quite carefully in sort of...
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'd quite like to see the first manned mission to Mars. Which,
Okay.
to be fair, it's probably going to happen in about 10 years.
All right. In that case, save yourself some time. Bang. In you go. 2024. Good. Then pop back because we need to finish the podcast.
I have a question. Before we end the podcast.
Well, Chris we need to find out what
all right,
Chris
quick, you go first. Remind me.
You
what
kind
event?
of stole mine with the World Cup.
Well, should we do that together then?
Yeah.
Let's go together. I'll go dressed as a PE teacher. You go dressed as a Power Ranger. It's the 60s. Anything went, they'd love it. They'd love it, especially if you went as a pink one. That'd be just really cool. We'd be the talk of the town.
You'd get rogered.
So Chris and I are going to go back in time. You're going forward 10 years.
Yes. So my question.
Okay.
There's talk about going to Mars, and if you went to Mars, you would not be able to come back.
Right.
Would you go?
Am I going to live?
Yes. Oh, you don't come back because you're dead.
Am I the only one there?
No, you're gonna go like. Okay, so the plan is that I think the proposed sort of plan is to send colony of people out there to kind of set up stuff and
What, and just sort of
live in biodomes and all that sort of stuff. That's kind of one of the plans I've seen.
populate Mars?
I'd like to do it when I'm
in
old.
a way, yes. You would not.
I'll do it when I'm old and I've got nothing left.
You can't go when you're old.
Why?
Why?
Because they're not going to send old people
no,
to Mars.
No. All communities need old, wise people.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
They do. You
No,
gotta
they don't.
go see
We
the
know things.
Oh no, we've got a issue with the construction of one new biodome.
Go
Let's
see
go
the
ask-
wise man. Go see the wise man for the advice he will give you. I'd be like a tall,
What?
old Yoda.
What was that? What was that impression?
That was me
Fix
just
it, you
doing a
must.
voice.
Fix it, you
Is
must.
there a ghost here? Is there a ghost on Mars?
Dead.
Maybe
Die.
there are.
You wouldn't send
Die,
old
we
people to
shall.
Mars. What a waste of time. For a start, it's going to take like 10 years to get there.
Do not send the Bryce one.
You
Anger he will
you
create.
should never go to Mars.
All right, say tomorrow they went, right, we need to train you for 2 years.
Yeah.
We want to send you to Mars.
Right.
You'll be one of the first 100 people on Mars.
Quality.
Go.
Yeah, I'll go.
Train me.
You go. You
shall.
give everything up. Just go.
Why? It's Mars. It's not like I'm going to Milton Keynes. I'm going to Mars, mate.
I'm going to Mars.
Are there any
mate.
bars on Mars?
No.
Or cars?
But also, you got to feel like it's not safe. Like it's not 100% you're going to get there safely. It's not going to be
You
nice.
told me I was going to be safe.
Yeah, I'm out.
It's not 100%. It's obviously you've
well,
got to go to Mars.
No deal.
No, I'm out.
It's
I'm
the same. It's the
Deal
same.
or
I'm just
no-
going to wait. I'm
Hello?
just going to
Hello?
wait. I'm
no
just,
Edmonds? Yeah, no deal, mate.
Yeah, no deal, mate. No deal, banker. Anyway, I'm just going to wait.
There's a 90% chance.
No, I'm just going to wait until they put Vegas in Australia, and then I'm just going to go and have the holiday of a lifetime.
What
That-
if that's what they were going to do?
Vegas,
They figured out a way
Australia
to make-
on Mars.
Well,
the
hey, then I'm back in the game.
the terraforming on Mars makes it into an Australia kind of esque thing, and you go out there to help set up the Vegas Strip.
Can I surf? I mean, I can't actually surf. I just thought that just seemed like the thing to say.
Hey, on Mars, you'd be one of the top 100 surfers. There's
Would
only
I?
100 of you there. So
I like those odds. Right, I think that was the last question, plus a Brycey question. Good question as well about Mars. So it's time to say goodbye for this week. Brycey, have you got any pearls of wisdom you want to leave the Gcast community with?
I think I mentioned this last week, but the probe on the comment was cool.
Yeah, you did mention that last week.
Yeah, it's still cool. It's still very cool.
Still very cool. Okay, Chris, any parting words of troutism?
No.
No. Okay, there is. Well, the one word was no. Again, reminder for your own safety: if you do see Chris Trout walking the streets of Harrow,
Fear me, you shall.
there you go.
What is with the impressions this week?
I don't know. It's late. Right. Thanks very much for listening. This has been the Gcast episode 5 with Bryce, Chris, and myself, Martin. Thanks very much for your questions. We sorry for reading out your email address, Paddy.
Come on, man.
Oh dear.
Got to the email thing.
Yes, do send us your questions at gcast@gfinity. I nearly said Gmail. Gcast@gfinity.net. And the best question will win a trip to Chicken Club. Although the dude that drops in friction welding is right in the lead for me now.
When are we kind of announcing that, by the way? Like,
I don't know. When we get.
Need the budget approved.
Well, I'll
oh,
pay.
do need the budget approved. Oh, you got to pay for him.
I'll pay for his Chicken Club. It's £7.
Well, that's fair.
Well, not if he's having an extra chicken breast. It just ramps the price up. And you can only have a small Coke or, well, Diet Pepsi.
I feel like you could give him an extra chicken breast.
Yeah, maybe. If anyone wants to try and win that, yeah, really, you'll really ramp the quality of the questions up. Gcast@gfinity.net. Thank you very, very much for listening. And once again, we'll be inside your ear holes this time next week. See you later. Bye.